Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're taking a look at the giant loop Kiger Tank Bag available at RevZilla.com. So the Kiger Tank Bag gets its name from the ponies which roam the West, and it's aimed for you riders out there that like to do your roaming on a larger ADV style motorcycle, and chances are you're going to spend most of your time off-road, and that's because the Kiger is going to be really geared for beefy protection in off-road situations. It's going to be a premium tank bag. It's going to come in at around the $290 price point, and if you're spending most of your time on the street, there's probably going to be some better options out there for you that aren't going to run you up near that $300 mark. So when we're talking about mounting for this, on our BSD, or Beard Scale of Difficulty 4 installation, this is going to be a 1 out of 3. Super easy to install. You notice it's going to come with a very unique mounting harness on the bottom. Should take you about 15 minutes to get this all set up on your bike, but we will talk more about mounting at the end. For right now, let's jump into what you're getting with the Kiger. So Giant Loop is a brand that we know and use here at RevZilla, and they create luggage that's really going to be able to protect all of your gear and apparel while you're riding off-road. You can stick your stuff in here, and it's designed to hold up to the rigors of off-road riding. With the Kiger, what you're getting is their premium tank bag. This is going to be a larger bag than what you're seeing with the Diablo and the Fandango, and it's also going to have a different system for opening and closing. This is going to be their clamshell design, much like their Klamath tail pack. Klamath tail pack is actually a piece that I use on my Tiger 800 XCX when I'm riding off-road. And the really unique feature here is it doesn't utilize zippers to open and close this. What you have is just one large single mouth opening. And while they say that this is just water resistant, I've actually used that Klamath tail pack out in a tremendous amount of rain, thunderstorms, ridden through puddles, and I've had no water get inside. And it's a really unique feature to this clamshell design. Overall construction for this is going to be very similar to what we've seen across the board from Giant Loop. 22-ounce vinyl-coated polyester, has a really thick feel to it, really beefy in its design. And like I mentioned, the unique feature with the Kiger is going to be the fact that you have one large clamshell style to this. You don't have zippers running along the top. Instead, you've got a really solid binding to make sure that there's no fraying from the polyester. And as we pull this around to the back, one of the things you'll note here is that on the back of the clamshell, which acts as the hinge system, you're going to have Velcro closure points and then elasticated webbing where you can fine-tune where this fits. So in addition to that 9 liters of capacity you get, you can actually raise and lower the clamshell. So for me personally, I can put 2 bottles of water on the back of my tail pack and just lift that clamshell up a little bit and still get all the storage while keeping that clamshell just solidly ratcheted down on the side. You're going to have one pocket on the inside for possibly a credit card, maybe a wallet, spare fuses, anything like that. And then it's just one large compartment. And what you'll notice is on the bottom of this, there's going to be a Velcro strip that runs along the bottom. And that's going to be for the dry pod. So one of the things to note with the dry pod for this is for those of you out there that have a cell phone, that have a 5D camera that you want to stick in here, something that you want to take on the road that you don't want to get wet. This is going to give you your extra little bit of protection, making sure that everything in the tank bag itself is going to stay nice and dry. Water resistant YKK zip, and then it's going to be a roll top design, so you want to just kind of roll this over, and you can see even as I close this up, it's going to be letting a little bit of air out. So it's not waterproof. Keep in mind this is water resistant, and the Giant Loop makes it very clear to say that when you're actually reading through the fine print on this. But like I said, from my experience, I've not used a dry pod, and I've had everything inside stay nice and dry, even in torrential rain. But it is something you want to be aware of if you are taking expensive electronics out. That Velcro strip on the bottom matches up with the Velcro strip on the bottom of the pod for this, and then all of your items stay nice and dry inside the bag itself. Closing this up, you're going to have 2 straps running down either side. They're going to snap into place. It's going to be nylon webbing. And then once those are snapped into place, you're going to notice pops of reflectivity along the side. The top of the bag does have a nice compartment for a paper map. I still like to use a paper map. You can fit a tablet in this. You can fit a cell phone in this if that's how you prefer to use your maps or your GPSs. And then you're also going to have a grab handle at the bottom. We mentioned the pop of reflectivity along the side. That's also going to be mimicked in the actual mounting harness itself. You're going to see pops of reflectivity along the mounting harness. And then you're going to have one final compartment up front, just a light mesh webbing. Now, I would not use this as an actual pocket to keep things while you're out riding. It's a very rigid mesh to this, and you're going to probably lose whatever you have in here. This works out really nicely if you are just throwing your gloves in this while you're at the gas station filling up. Now, the one thing that Giant Loop talks about when you read the fine print on this is they say, hey, This is great for you riders that want to stand up and you don't want a tank bag that impedes with your riding when you're standing up off-road. So I installed this on our F800 GS here at RevZilla, and the one thing that I will say is it does bump into my thighs a little bit when I am trying to get up and over the tank standing up on the bike. So just keep that in mind. It will probably just hit you a little bit in the legs while you are riding in a standing position. Now the mounting harness on this, we mentioned in the beginning, 1 out of 3 on our BSD, our Beard Scale of Difficulty 4 installation. Very unique mounting system, and I like this. I've seen this from the other Giant Loop products. What you have is you have 2 large YKK coil zips on the bottom, and then the tank bag itself actually zips off and the harness stays mounted on. So you're going to have one strap that runs along the steering stem up front, and you're going to have 2 additional straps that will run around the frame rail at the back. And you're going to notice a really nice, unique horseshoe cutout. And what this does is it allows you to access your fuel filler cap. And then if your fuel filler cap is a bit raised off the motorcycle itself, there's a nice cutaway here where it's not going to impede with the tank. So all things considered, Giant Loop has done a nice job of giving you a top-of-the-line tank bag for riders out there that are looking for something a little bit different than the traditional zip-top tank bag to this. There's a lot of different tank bags in Giant Loop's lineup, and if you want to hear more about what other riders are using on their rides, click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already using Giant Loop products on their motorcycles. More questions for one of our gear geeks? Give them a shout at 877-792-9455, or simply shoot us an email, cs@revzilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the Giant Loop Kiger Tank Bag. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.